You really think Michael Penix Jr. is winning a championship, bro? I mean, honestly, I've watched the Huskies this year. 2 wins over Oregon is very impressive, but I mean, I don't see Washington getting over Michigan. Step 1. And I would also say, me personally, I don't think I see Washington getting over Alabama. I don't know if they play Alabama. I guess they would play Alabama if Alabama won. Or maybe Michigan and Alabama. Listen, they play Texas first. Well, they're going to clear Texas, bro. That's not even close. But I think that in the finals, they're in trouble. Anyway, I don't know anything about college football, for the record. Han Solo asked me last week, are the Canucks beating the Devils? I replied, is the Pope Catholic? Canucks lost 6-5. What they didn't know, they should have known this if they were making a sports wager. I genuinely don't know if the Pope is Catholic. I don't really know the difference between Catholic and Christian, and I sort of understand that Protestant is like in there as well, Episcopalian, Lutheran, First Reformed, etc., etc. I simply didn't know. It's not my area of expertise. No. I know that he's not Eastern Orthodox. Because that's like the whole... Isn't that like the anti-pope or something? Isn't like there's one pope in Vatican City and then one pope in like Limoges or something like that? Oh, he's pescatarian. Mr. Pescatarian, of course. Corey, you played this game recently? I'm bringing it up because I saw you were playing Call of Duty Zombies. So, like, I just... Genuinely, it's not shade. It's just, you know, one bro looking out for another. If you're looking for something, and it's been long enough, there is always this. You don't have to play the dailies and lose to an unemployed cheater every day. That's fine. You're coming in hot on a Monday morning, but... You could just play the game. Nothing to worry about. Just roll the dice, bro. Did you finish Squid Game? I did. Whoa! Genuinely, you're probably already not watching Squid Game, the challenge, aka the real game show, because it's tone deaf with the original program. But also, if you were like me and you were like, I get that like the original show is a critique of the excesses of late-stage capitalism, but also I think those games would be fun to watch in a reality show context. Don't watch it. They did a really, really bad job on the game design. And I'm not trying to be overly critical, but compared to something like The Devil's Plan that came out earlier this year, it's like not even close, bro. One of the last games that they played was roll a dice in a circle, and if you roll a 6, you're eliminated. Well, like it's a little bit deeper than that. They kind of decided that they would just eat the random chance, but whatever. The gist of the game was basically like literally roll a d6 and see what happens. And then the final game is, I can't stress the literalness of this enough. The final game is literally play rock, paper, scissors. And I know you're like, no, it's probably like circle, square, triangle. No, it's not. It's literally throw rock, paper, and scissors. Like, it was, I do not think that they did a good job with the game design. That's my 2 cents. What should they have done? I don't know, like something more interesting. Like, I mean, Survivor's games can get a little tired, but, like, at the end of the day, at least they got, like, some puzzles and, like, some ring toss and stuff like that. You gotta, like, you know, carry some sand and then use the sand to, like, fill up a scale or something like that. At least they're trying. All right, we'll pick this one up. I keep reading comments that rock, paper, scissors is extremely popular in Korea, so it's actually a good homage to the show. Yeah, but it's not, I don't really care how authentic it is to like the Korean schoolboy experience. It's just not entertaining to watch. Like you whittled down 456 people down to 2 for $4.5 million, and then you're like, let's flip a coin and see who wins. Like that's just, it's just not that interesting in my opinion. I don't care how authentic it is to the Korean life. Devil's Plan was really good. They should get the motherfucker who did the games for Devil's Plan and have him do the games for Squid Game. Or just make like a second Devil's Plan or something. No, at no point did I say I wanted them to actually kill each other. But I mean, it does annoy me when people are like, what, do you want them to actually die in real life? Like Chib said, what, you want people to die in real life? Chibli, people already die in real life. I understand that, you know, you're 22 years old, so it seems like a long way off, but it happens every day, man. There's a whole section in the newspaper dedicated to it. The show is just not very good. The haters were right. The haters are actually wrong in how little they hated the show before it came out. They should have hated it even more than they did. It's rare for me to say that. Is this good? Does it matter? I don't think we can do it. Why'd you watch it? I don't know. Why do you eat chicken tenders for every meal? Like inertia. We watched it while eating dinner time. And you know what it is? It's actually like... It's nice to have something to watch. So you take a little bit of the mental overhead off of like one area of your life. Oh, it's over. We just won. You know how like some people, like instead of having to ask like, what do you want to have for dinner every single night? They have like, okay, it's Tuesday, we're having tacos. Wednesday is like, you know, chicken and rice. Thursday's pizza, etc., etc., etc. That's basically what it was like when we got 2 episodes into Squid Game, the challenge. It was like, at this point, it's just easier to finish it than it is to find like another show that we both agree on while we're trying to eat dinner at the same time simultaneously. It's just something to have on while you're, you know, while you're enjoying your meal, basically. It's also, like, I don't know why people are like, why would you watch something you don't like? Have you ever seen, like, the average streamer? Like, during the Game Awards, they're like, this is ridiculous. We should respect all game developers. This is a travesty. Then the day before comes out and it has 2% positive reviews on Steam. People are like, emergency stream! I have to see how bad this is. Let's go get the hype train going. We're making fun of this game immediately. So it's fun to play or to interface with media that you know sucks and join in on the bullying. It's true for all of us, bro. Something deep inside of humanity. I don't really want to walk through those spikes, quite frankly. You think you enjoy food less if you're watching something? These are questions, I don't know, man. I'm not at that age in my life anymore. I know it seems like a derisive way to respond to it. I can remember being 15 and bored, and then like, I don't even know what this is gonna do. Nothing, maybe. Having questions like that pop into my mind, the luxury doesn't exist anymore. Now it's more like, I have to eat. And I might as well have something on. I'm not worried about the I don't know, the marginal debuff in terms of the quality of the food because I'm also watching the show. I mean, if anything, it makes you appreciate the show less to be eating while watching. Which is good because usually, like, if an episode of a TV show is like 51 minutes long, I usually eat for like 17 to 22 minutes, and then I get up and I do the dinner dishes while the remaining 30-something minutes is playing. So it's actually better if the show is not that good because then I'm not missing something that I want to see. Instead, it's like a very low-friction pivot to like knocking out some stuff that I have to do in order to be able to get to bed on time. speedrun, baby. Who the hell is this? Bro, that's Goaty Emoty, or whatever his name is. What? Oh, what the hell is this, bro? Adulthood sounds exhausting. No, you kind of like get used to it bit by bit. You got stuff to do, but I mean, like, I know how this sounds. The reason that, like, there's a pivot from childhood to adulthood is because someone was doing, like, all this shit before you. You know? Like, the reason that you're not used to having to do all this shit is because, like, your parents were probably doing it for you for, like, 20 years before you were doing it. So now I look at it as, like, it's almost like a monastic duty. Like, I'm paying the piper. I got to enjoy my childhood because my parents did like 99.5% of the chores. Now it's my responsibility to pay it forward for my own child and allow them to enjoy their childhood while I'm doing this stuff. It's a solemn duty, but it's a duty I take seriously. Yeah, I wouldn't trust her mowing the lawn yet. Couple of reasons. First off, I don't want her to, like, cut both of her feet off with the blades. Or I don't want her strong-ass ankles to break my electric lawnmower blade, because I'm not sure that the Ryobi is capable of cutting through human flesh. Like, it can barely handle the grass as is. Also, at age 3.25 or whatever she is right now, I don't trust her to plug in the AC adapter and charge the power packs. And you gotta, like, it's a 2 power pack situation. Let's just put it that way. So you gotta be constantly juggling the power packs. And I simply don't trust her to have that kind of, like, forward executive planning right now. Because she's 3, you know? It's not her skill set. Plus, I don't want her mowing the lawn because lawn mowing is one of the chores that I want to do. You get to be outside. I mean, that's about it. you get that power wash simulator sort of like incremental completion that's very satisfying. It's true, you get a little workout maybe. What about raking the leaves? Not as good as mowing the lawn. But still good. It's an exercise substitute. Like, the raking itself is not that much exercise, but the picking up the leaves and putting them into the bin, that's the workout right there. That's like, we'll call those autumnal burpees. That's real exercise. Mowing the lawn is better, though, because you don't have to bend over so much. I have no lawn, yet I must mow. In many ways, I think that's kind of the curse that afflicts many millennials out there. There's a deep-seated call to mow and to rake and to plant and mulch and water, fertilize, etc., but the housing crisis is making it so that, like, there's no outlet for that. I mean, just to be honest, if you're, like, renting, your ass should not be out there mowing or raking or mulching or doing any of that. That stuff should pass to the land baron. It's their responsibility. I don't want to go in there yet. What would it take to get goat emote added to the Discord? It's still being used 30 days from today regularly. That would be a good first step. And if that comes to pass, which it won't, then bug the mods. But I wouldn't worry about that until the second week of January. Let's put it that way. I'm not really in charge of that stuff. Maybe I should be, but, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? But 1 second. I'm just as surprised when there's a new emote. Wow! I'm just as surprised when there's a new emote in the Discord. I'm like, oh my god, the mods were busy. They added something. Like Lion Yippee got added to the Discord the other day, and I was like, thank you so much. I didn't say that, but I thought it. So, hello, sir. I did not mean to be so rude. It was not me. It was my food. It just popped up to say hello, and now it's gone back down below. I mean, like this weekend, my daughter had an activity for 3 hours on Sunday morning. You know what I did with the 3 hours? After Saturday, I was like, oh my god, I'm so burned out. I need some me time. Dropped her off at the class on Sunday. Came home. Took a nice leisurely bowel movement, which is a luxury for sure. I don't need any of this garbage. Then did the dishes, cleaned the kitchen, got out the mirror and glass cleaner, cleaned all the glass surfaces in the house, all the windows, etc., etc. Busted out the Swiffer, like the wet jet, Swiffered the whole house. The shelf behind me, took all this stuff down, vacuumed up the spruce needles that had fallen off of this tree because it's actually real, took all the stuff off the shelf, sprayed it down with all-purpose cleaner, wiped those off nice, came over to the bike, took out the fitness wipes, wiped down the bike perfectly. And then I was like, I want to change the sheets, but I ran out of time. But I was like, that felt good, man. To have the opportunity. I was like, I could either do like one chore that would take like 3 hours maybe, or I could stack together like 8 little victories that I've been putting off for a month and a half. Oh, man. That felt damn good. Sounds like you finally tried an edible. No disrespect, I probably took my first edible when you were like 2.5 years old, if I had to guess. What's up with like, hey, other people of age, back me up here. What's up with like 22-year-olds thinking they invented weed? We legalized it, motherfucker. You're just a benefactor. Was your ass like even of legal voting age in 2015 when we pushed that shit through? Yes, okay, you're welcome. That's all I'm asking for, really, is a little you're welcome. I signed the petitions. It's not the same thing. You don't get a sticker for signing petitions, okay? You only get the sticker if you vote. And that's what it's all about. It's called power puttering. I don't know why. It's the John Mulaney Ice Tea bit. Kids are calling it power puttering. It's when you put your AirPods in and vacuum your whole house while listening to a podcast. I do like to putter, though. Puttering has like a negative connotation. What do I see as puttering? I see puttering as blocking off a section of time to like do chores or things that you need to do, but not worrying at all about doing them as efficiently as possible, which I know is like anathema to young people. And it was to me even a few years. Oh, I forgot I can't escape this room. But like, instead of being like, you know, I have to do the dishes, here's the best way to do it, I'm gonna set it up and I'm gonna put this here and I'm gonna move the gloves here and I'm gonna get the brush here, you just go, you know what? Well, just give me a second here. You got to check. It's not worth the risk, in my opinion. You just go, hey, I got 2 hours. I'm going to tidy up. And maybe you walk over here, you see something to tidy, you pick it up, you put it where it's supposed to go. Then in your new place, you see something that you need to put somewhere else. You go walk it up the stairs, etc., etc. You don't worry so much about like, oh, you know, if you put the mulch plug into the lawnmower, then you could have skipped the leaf raking portion. You're like, nah, bro, we're all going to be there eventually. I was trained by our school system to only tidy up while singing. No, motherfucker, you weren't. It's just your ass needed to be distracted as a little kid to tidy up. Otherwise, your ass would have been making more mess while everybody else was tidying up. Don't blame the school system for that. It's probably something baked into your neurology. It's a means to an end. It's not always the teacher's fault, okay? It's not your fault either. Like, you're not You are your own brain, and to some extent you're in charge of your own brain, but like not completely. Like some of that stuff is outside of your outside of your locus of control. The important part is you just got to stop blaming your teachers. They're just trying to get through the damn day, bro. Favorite soundtrack to putter to? You don't have the puttering mastered yet if you're trying to come up with the optimum soundtrack. You just put on some, you know what? Why don't you put on one of the most solid front to back albums of all time? You ask someone what the best song on this album is, you're going to get 9 different answers. No disrespect to the boy done wrong again. Belle and Sebastian, If You're Feeling Sinister. I mean, the stars of track and field, seeing other people, me and the Major, Dylan in the movies, Fox in the Snow, Judy and the Dream of Horses. There's lots of. That's a great album, man. They did if Twitter was around in 1996, people would have been so annoying about Belle and Sebastian, and you know what? They would have been right to. What's your favorite? I really like Stars of Track and Field. I really like. I mean, there's a lot, man. A lot of the aforementioned tracks, but maybe also Get Me Away From Here, I'm Dying. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good ones. Destroyers Kaput, also one of my favorite albums. Definitely a great puttering album. Hits different if you live in Vancouver, too. Because when he says, in Chinatown, I'm like, bro! I've been there, dude! And then when the lady goes, downtown, I'm like, bro! I've been there too! But then when he's talking about Kara Walker, I'm like, I don't know her, I'm sorry. Sorry, we're getting a little insular here. By the way, I got to peep my wife's Spotify Wrapped. Let me tell you, I think it's a great illustration of where we're at as a family. #1 artist of the year, Riders in the Sky. Who's that? Oh, you don't know Riders in the Sky? That's okay. We were in their top 0.05% of listeners worldwide. They sang a bunch of songs on the Toy Story 2 soundtrack. Not like the Randy Newman ones, but you know when Woody goes, he gets kidnapped by Al, and then he ends up talking to the prospector and Jesse and finding out that he's based on a TV show from the 1950s? Those songs. Yippity-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today. I've got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle. So yeah, we were in the top. I mean, we might have been the #1 artists or listeners worldwide for Riders in the Sky, and then #2 is a K-pop artist by the name of Aimyon, probably butchering the pronunciation, and then #3 was fucking Andy Griffith. And you know why Andy Griffith is #3? Because it's the song that comes on right after the end of the Toy Story 2 Woody's Roundup album by Riders in the Sky on Shuffle. And then it would play, like, if we didn't hit Shuffle again, it would play like 7 Andy Griffith songs in a row. It's Cindy in the summertime, it's Cindy in the fall. If I didn't have love for Cindy, then I wouldn't have love at all. Get along, little Cindy, get on home. So I have we have the most scuffed Spotify Wrapped, like, on earth. Maybe everybody with a toddler has something similar. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who have, like, you know, the Wiggles, Bluey, and then, like, the Wu-Tang Clan or Cool G Rap or something like that. But it's got a pretty scuffed one. We go this way. The Wiggles is kind of like Cool G Rap. Yeah, in many ways, Fruit Salad Yummy Yummy has a lot of similarities with Brother on the Run. First, you chop up the banana. Then, you eat up the banana. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Did you know the Wiggles is like, it's kind of like the Pope? There have been like 15 Wiggles. They've been around since like 1989 or something like that. I had no idea that like when a Wiggles like retires, they get replaced with another Wiggle. There's a girl Wiggle now? Bro, there's like the first girl Wiggle, I'm pretty sure, was Emma. And she was in the Wiggles for so long that her ass retired. Now they got another girl Wiggle who is like, I don't know, she's like 14 or something like that. Which is like the oldest person my daughter has ever seen. I'm sure she's like, whoa! It's like how when I was a kid, if you would meet someone who's like 25 years old, you would be like, holy fuck. 25. What's it like to have like your whole life figured out? Then when you turn 25, you're like, I don't know shit, bro. I'm not taking that. Yeah, when you're 10, 17 seems crazy. Well, I remember like, I think it was like a second grade. We had reading buddies. So like some recesses, I'm sure like delinquent children in the 8th grade who needed to do community service volunteered their recesses to like read books with younger kids. So my reading buddy was in like the 8th grade, and every time I met them, I was like, this is a fucking like middle-aged man. I was like, what's he? In my head, he was like smoking cigarettes and had like a full beard. But then when you think back, you're like 8th grade is like, we were what, like 12 or 13 years old? Like you don't know anything. You're not supposed to know anything, honestly. Like, you're in the 8th grade. That's why they made the movie. No. This is not a nuts on the table situation. It's Monday, 9:50 a.m. with mom's knife. I sacrificed 1 trillion HP to get to this point. This is no nuts on the table. No. Not until the boss, at least. All nuts on the table on whoever the final boss of this game is. You can't be... Listen, I invented nuts on the table, for one, I think. I'm pretty sure. Secondarily, if there was ever a month to take your nuts off the table, it's December, bro. We should be going easy on each other in this month, you know? This is... At least, I don't work in the Postal Service, Jimmy Tamborello, and I don't work retail, so this may strike you as untrue if you work in those disciplines or other ones where there's a lot of rush. But I sort of feel like January to November, you work that so that in December, you kind of like, you can take your foot off the gas pedal and coast a little bit. That's why I'm playing Isaac. Like, that should be obvious. I'm quitting the post office on Friday. They're gonna kill you. They're gonna, like, you're not allowed to quit, right? Isn't that like a government mandate or something? Like, if you quit, you have to do it by like November 30th. I think that they are going to end your life. They're not owned by the United States? Okay, I would just mean like, it's kind of a dick move. Well, I guess, listen, you do you, but at the same time, I'm like, you really are, you're bailing at like the worst possible time. It's like being like a 52-year-old dude in the American military and then retiring like the day after Pearl Harbor, bro. It's like, literally, we need you the most right now. You could just make it to like January 5th or something like that. I'm sure it's gonna suck for the rest of December, but then like... -2, put yourself first. Yeah. But like, I'm just saying... they're going to be mad, which is fine. But like the Postal Service has a good union, right? This is not like I'm not trying to support the people who simply hold all the capital. See, look, you distracted me with your labor dispute. Now I forgot to put my nuts on the table. Looks like my nuts are fine. Hey, Psychedelic Gazelle, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Thank you. All right, that was a nice warm-up. Let's go /marker repentance. I will say, someone said, please just stop sending so much stuff in the mail.